we can change the world. And I believe that change begins with you and me.
Leonard Matlovich helped America learn to talk about homosexuality. He was a decorated Vietnam veteran who decided to challenge the military regulation against gays in uniform.
I was tired of coming to work every day fearing losing my job.
In the process, he brought homosexuality into the open in a manner and volume not known before in America.
Gay people, regardless of what their walk of life, school teachers or whatever, are American citizens, and they deserve the same rights as every other person in this country.
The Air Force put Sergeant Matlovich on trial 12 years ago. Time put him on its cover.
There's no medical grounds whatsoever now which the armed forces can discriminate against us. So it just has to be strictly prejudice and discrimination.
The sergeant's plea to the... Matlovich lost at court-martial and was thrown out of the Air Force.
It was my personal loss, but it's going to be our victory.
But there are countless gays in military uniform, and it turned out, in clerical, police, football, baseball, and every other uniform there is. Gay Sergeant Matlovich, you see, taking the stand not so much in defense of his homosexuality, but in explanation of it, brought a lot of guys out of the closet.
Maybe not in my lifetime, but we are going to win in the end.
When I was in the Navy, going through basic training in Pensacola, we did a lot of training. We did a lot of running. We would run as a class of 72 in my case, and every morning at 5 a.m., the 72 of us would file up into formation, and at the front of that formation was someone we called the guide-on. And the guide-on carried a staff, and on that staff was a pennant and streamers. The pennant represented our class, and the streamers represented all of the accomplishments that our unit had made it through the various stages of our training. And the guide-on would carry that staff and guide our class on those 5-mile runs at 5 o'clock in the morning. And it was not an easy job running and carrying that staff. And as we progressed, the guide-on would pass the staff to the man behind him, who would then take the position as the guide-on and lead our unit throughout that run. And it would pass from man to man and man to woman and woman to woman throughout that run. In our community, in the gay and lesbian military community, that staff, that pennant, and those streamers lay on the ground for decades. Members of the armed forces looked at that staff with that pennant and all of their accomplishments as dedicated heroes, and no one picked it up. No one showed the courage. No one until Leonard Matlovich came along. And in 1975, Leonard picked up that staff, he picked up that pennant, and he picked up all the streamers that represented the hundreds of years of service of soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, and he ran with it. Leonard lived a life of truth that represents all of us here today. And that was Leonard Matlovich's moment for us, for all of us here today. And when he could run no more with that staff, he handed it off to the next man and the next woman. The Keith Meinholds, the Joe Steffens, the Greta Kammermeyers, the Justin Elsies, and the Dan Choys that are carrying that staff here today.
I stand on the sacrifices of those who have taken a stand before me. I stand on the sacrifices and the shoulders of Leonard Matlovich. I stand on the shoulders of Dr. Martin Luther King.
When I was in the military, they gave me a medal for killing 2 men and a discharge for loving one.
And I